Let's see, is it working? Same old pile of junk. So today is information for the future. Here is the door. Behind the door, there's a set of windows just like these ones. There aren't windows yet. By the way, there's also this big window, and there's more of these over here behind the door. We'll see that when we go inside. Behind here is a door that I covered up in plywood also. We'll get to check that stuff out when we get inside. This is my new creation. I found this screen thing in a pile of junk over here, and I was like, hey, screen thing. And then it turned out to be just the right size. This is a linoleum bathroom window. Making it in. Okay, what are we looking at now? We got a couple of sheets of masonite that are so heavy I can't even move them to get rid of the rat nest that's in the insulation here. Rat zapper. I love the rat zapper, but it doesn't catch mice very well. I haven't fixed these windowsills. I haven't even vacuumed the windowsills. They're pretty gross. But you know, it's one step at a time. Over here is the rat's nest that I found yesterday, and I tried to hoe it up, and hoe isn't a very good tool. Neither is a broom or a shovel. I moved my stereo over here. I love this thing. This thing is awesome. You open it up, and you can put all your stuff inside of it, and the mice can't get in. So one of the things I wanted to show off, can you see how along this wall there's like a chalk outline of where the studs are and the cross pieces behind it. Some of these walls have it too. I think that's awesome because if you go through, I had a yardstick around here somewhere because I thought that it was really important to notice how close these are to each other is different than how close these are and how close these are, and what the industry standard is all different. So, you know, if you don't have that map on the wall that the previous carpenter drew, or whatever you want to call them, if you don't have that map, you have no clue. Here's the glass behind it. But this glass is really just kind of sitting there. It's not even attached. And this is the inside of that window. And then over here is the door. I'm going to put a window where this door is probably. Over here is window, I assume. I'm going to probably put a window in there too. And over here, see, this is my new creation that I'm all proud of. It's all dangerous along the edge, but I have a jigsaw with a metal plate. I'll fix that up. This is my tile countertop. I can't leave it down because I killed all the rats, but I have mice, so I still don't want rodent poo on the place where I cook. But when I feel like I'm the only one that lives here, I'm going to set these out and I'm going to have a nice tile countertop. That'll be pretty neat. I think these white things were pre-constructed. I think that the previous carpenter found these at a job site because there's 1, 2, 3. And there's another one outside that got chopped into pieces. I don't know why. But then over here by the door is the 4th one. Here's some doors I don't need. The back one is an oak door. It is so heavy I can't even move it, so that's where it goes. Yeah, that's the extent of it today. This is one of my new creations. I found these things out in the yard also. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they're a very great table for how low my chair is. There we go. It's a nice setup. Low table, low chairs. Makes my knees hurt, but you know. Another neat thing I noticed is this is the only screw holding this whole piece of plywood on. You look up and down, and you look up here, there's no other plywood, or there's no other screws. That's the only screw. So that's kind of weird. I wish I had my yardstick, because these sure aren't 16 inches apart. And if I insulate that, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to look like this, minus the rat chews. Yeah, so that's it for today. I should grab my meter stick, because that would have made it much more poignant and real. But, you know, whoever lives here next may want to know where this wire came from, why this wire goes to, and how many extra holes there are, how many extra nails there are. It's been one of my quests is removing the nails and screws that stick out at face level, if you might recall from previous videos. So there are lots of face level screws just sticking out right along this kitchen wall. So it goes. Here's one of my holes. I think this is going to end up being where I put my sink, because there's 2 holes there. There's one there, and then there's one right below it for an innie and an outie for my sink. Yep. I don't know what else to say. I slept on the cot for the first time last night instead of sleeping on the tent. And because there's no rats, it's a lot more comfortable. Because mice are still bothersome. They're quite bothersome. But they're not going to go flap, flap, flap. And so I'm not going to worry nearly as much about them. Yep, that's the attic. I cleaned out the attic, and it got uncleaned out by the last rats. We'll see what happens. Each day is its own adventure, and each day I get a little closer. One of my next quests is to make a door handle. That'd be really nice. One of my favorite scores, the guy with the organs. I think those light switches at the bottom probably make his lungs turn all vibrant blue and his intestines turn all vibrant pink. Someday I might find that out. But this is what it is today. Big pile of crap. And a chair. And a fence. And once you get past the pile of crap, you realize this is what this is all worth it for.